This is First Nature on the Rise of Man podcast. I'm out here in Topanga Canyon, California, taking a hike on one of the many lovely trails. It's been super rainy here, and a lot of washouts, a lot of mud, a lot of water, so I'm watching my step. And there's a lot of really beautiful spring shoots coming up everywhere. It's amazing how fecund and dense the chaparral can be in spring. Everything's coming alive right now. And guess what? We're really close to that transition point that we all like to mark, spring equinox. And I just want to share a little bit about my thoughts on spring equinox. And there's one I did last year about spring equinox, and we talked about certain things there. But what I really wanted to talk about today was just the why is it important? Why is it something we track? Why do we want to know when it's spring equinox? And yes, there is this, long-standing connection to our agriculture, right? How when, 15,000 some years ago, when we stopped moving around and started learning how to plant and harvest food, it became really important to know in the seasonal zones when it was time to plant, and using the stars and the sun to sort of track those points in the year where it was not too early to plant and not too late to plant, really helped us make sure we were able to grow enough food to sustain ourselves in place instead of migrating, foraging around all the time. But I think there's something even more interesting, more fascinating, kind of phenomenal about not just the solstice, but the equinoxes too, but these just kind of auspicious things about our planet, the planet we're living on, this planet Earth, and if you, are tracking any of this kind of stuff, you'll know that we are a planet orbiting a star, which is one of billions of stars inside a galaxy called the Milky Way, which is one of billions of galaxies. And of all these billions of stars and billions of galaxies, the numbers are so impossible to crunch in our heads. It's too much, right? And we've been looking. How can it be that Earth is the only planet that is this unique, this fantastic? We've been looking for a long time. We have telescopes out there that have identified 5,000 other planets, give or take a handful, that are about the size of Earth, that are orbiting about the same distance from a star that's about the same size and heat as our sun. And they're not even remotely close to anything like Earth. They're just big, hot, rocky balls without spheres, without atmospheres, or with atmospheres so noxious, there's no chance of life as we know it anyway, right? So I'm just looking for a place to sit down. It's so wet here, so I'm looking for a dry spot. So yeah, I think what's really on my heart today is knowing that I myself, because it's been so rainy and I've been on the move a lot over the holidays and into this early year, I haven't been getting outside that much to connect with nature in the way that I really like to, that makes me feel like I'm really part of it. And I knew that I needed to get this podcast ready to post, but I'm not feeling connected. And so I'm cautious about speaking from a place that doesn't feel authentic right now. So a big part of this video today is me just being vulnerable and just exposing that I'm going to just sit here and get connected to nature while I talk to you, and just to let it permeate me, right? And I've uploaded a few videos that have given some guidings on how to go out there and connect with nature, just to help and support people do that. But this one's a little different, because as I sit here and talk to you, and I can feel, I start to remember as I slow down and just step out here in nature. I'm literally only 15 minutes away from where I was staying last night. Nature is very close to us all, even if it's just a local park. And I can hear that airplane coming in. I can hear a little bit of traffic on the road down below. And it's all part of it. There's a part of me that knows that unless I'm going to go out there and hide away in the middle of nowhere where there's no people, I can really get deep into being as nature connected as I possibly can. But I know the thing that's going to stop me from doing that is I'm going to get lonely. I'm going to miss conveniences. I'm going to miss people I love and care about. I'm going to miss being in the thrill and excitement of just being a human in this time and all the things we have access and ability to do. So I'll just say that, if you've been listening to the First Nature segment, thank you. And if you've been getting something from it, I'm so glad. And I don't know how you, picture me just coming through as someone who's professing to be a nature connection enthusiast who may appear to be very nature connected and seems to know what they're talking about all the time, but I don't. I don't. All I know is that I can always connect deeper with nature. There's no way to be completely connected. It's a journey. And that every day I wake up, I have a choice. I have a choice to make about what do I want to be most focused on. There's, in this day and time we can put our attention on so many things. And for me, I know that when I really slow down and stop, what I want to be most focused on is nature. And why is that? Because I know that I am wholly dependent on nature. Everything. You probably can hear that barking dog. Everything I touch, everything I ingest, everyone I interact with, all the ways that I interact with anything, all the objects, the air I breathe, the water I drink, that's all earth. And how often I find myself blasting through my days, not really making the connection. Not making the connection that the phone I'm texting on while I'm driving with the cruise control on, trying to get to some town from another town, is all happening because it's sitting on the foundation of nature. I've said this before, you can't be nature disconnected. That's a little bit of a misnomer to say that, if you need nature connection, there's an assumption that you're nature disconnected. You can't be nature disconnected. We'll say it this way. You can be nature unconsciously connected, right? And maybe that's the distinction, that we can be consciously aware of our connection to nature, or we can be unconsciously aware of our connection to nature. And I do feel like a lot of us, myself included, spend a lot of our day and time, our lives, going through and being nature unconsciously connected. And there's some construction going on back there. And even in this moment, as I listen to the dogs barking and that construction happening and all these things that I feel like are distracting me from my intention to connect to nature, I have to remind myself that that's all nature. Those tools, that dog, like these aren't things that fell down from outer space onto our planet from a different world. They are all, on some level, an incarnation of the very dirt we walk on. That's where it all came from. But I am going to move because that's a little loud. So let's walk and talk. So as I kind of drop in here a little more, slowing down, right? Just getting out on the trail slows me down. And I'm just looking down the ground right now because it's a little treacherous with the mud and it's a little slippery and steep. And I'm just looking at all this water And then I started thinking about how magical water is, right? I've been on this writing project for a while. I've been spending a lot of my days at libraries. And there's a college up the coast here in Malibu, Pepperdine College. You may have heard of it. Their their library is actually open to the public, which is pretty cool. And it's an amazing library. And they have these huge, giant, like 10 by 10 window panes that they're up on a bluff and they overlook the ocean. You can see probably like a good 20, 30 miles out over the ocean. And there's moments where I'll take a little break from writing and just look out and just look at all the water, the ocean, like this massive, massive body of water. And I'll just be like, what is that stuff? What a phenomenal, phenomenal substance. And we think about how it's how it touches every aspect of our lives, water. And I was just letting myself be stunned by that. And now just walking through here, I'm looking at just the water. There's, if you're watching the video, you can see this, but there's just like these channels of water running right down the middle of the path. And I think about, where is it going? What's its mission? And a big part of my nature connection, when I really start to drop back into it, is giving nature the benefit of a doubt when it comes to sentience, right? We can argue and debate all day long scientifically about whether other life forms have any kind of awareness or sentience anywhere near, what humans have. But I find for me that it's much more easier to connect to nature if I allow myself to embrace that it does have a sentience.